Yo, what's up gamers? So, I only came into the break room because it's the first week of January, the holiday decorations are still up out of pure laziness, and the coffee machine is making a noise that sounds contractual. Then I see a fresh memo taped to the fridge that just says, Game Pass Update, and I already know this mop is not staying dry. But before the download queue gets longer than the lunch line, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and tell me in the comments down below, what's the first Xbox Game Pass game you played in 2026? Alright, here's the scoop. Microsoft just revealed 11 games coming to Xbox Game Pass between January 6th and January 20th. And yeah, there are a bunch of big hitters in here. Also, a side note, 4 of these are premium only, meaning they're not hitting every tier. I'll flag those before Gary Rage tweets. And now it's time to grab a mop. Let's go aisle by aisle through the January Game Pass lineup. Starting things off, dropping on January 6th for Game Pass Ultimate, Game Pass Premium, and PC Game Pass is BREWS and Bastards. This is a fast-paced indie brawler built around messy combat, split-second timing, and situations spiraling out of control almost immediately. Like knocking over a mop bucket and deciding to fight the puddle instead of cleaning it. You're jumping into compact arenas, throwing hands with bizarre enemies, juggling attacks, dodging chaos, and reacting on instinct more than long-term planning. There's no overthinking here. You learn by getting smacked, standing back up, and swinging smarter the next time. It's loud, frantic, and perfect in short bursts. The kind of game you fire up just to check it out and accidentally lose an hour or two. If you like action games that embrace disorder and turn mistakes into momentum, BREWS and Bastards feels right at home on the break room floor. Dropping on January 6th for Game Pass Ultimate, Game Pass Premium, and PC Game Pass is Little Nightmares Enhanced Edition. This is the eerie puzzle platformer classic, freshly cleaned up with sharper visuals and smoother performance, like buffing a floor that still feels haunted no matter how much you scrub it. You play as a tiny character trapped in a massive, hostile world where everything is bigger than you and nothing wants you there. No combat, just sneaking, climbing, solving environmental puzzles, and trying not to get noticed by monsters that absolutely should not be in the building. It's all atmosphere, tension, silence, and that constant feeling that you're not supposed to be there. This is the kind of game that makes you walk past the break room fridge slowly, just in case it moves. Landing on January 7th with Game Pass Premium is ATOMFALL. This is a survival action game set in a quarantine post-disaster countryside steeped in Cold War paranoia. The kind of place where every hallway feels like it's hiding a problem someone forgot to report. You're exploring abandoned facilities, scavenging supplies, piecing together what went wrong, and making choices that feel slightly risky, because they are. Combat is tense, resources are limited, and the atmosphere does a lot of the heavy lifting. Slow, unsettling, and constantly watching you like a flickering security camera. This isn't a rush in and shoot kind of game. It's a check every corner, listen carefully, and don't kick the door kind of game. Basically, ATOMFALL feels like mopping a building that was evacuated for a reason. Also dropping on January 7th with Game Pass Premium is Lost in Random, The Eternal Die. This takes the twisted storybook world of Lost in Random and throws it into a roguelike loop. Fast combat, dice-based mechanics, and chaos that resets every run like someone keeps rearranging the supply closet overnight. You're fighting through surreal enemies, rolling literal dice to trigger abilities, and constantly adapting when luck decides to mop the floor with your plans. Every run plays differently. Every mistake is loud, and every success feels like you barely keep things together. It's stylish, weird, and creative. The kind of game where the mess is the system, and learning to work with it is the whole job. Dropping on January 7th with Game Pass Premium is REMATCH. This is a fast-paced competitive sports action game built around timing, momentum, and reading the flow of play, like trying to keep a hallway clean while everyone's sprinting through it in cleats. You're reacting in real time, chaining plays together, positioning smartly, and capitalizing on tiny openings before they disappear. Controls are easy to learn, but mastery comes from anticipation, not button mashing. Every mistake is immediate. Every clutch moment feels earned. It's pure one-match energy, the kind of game where you swear you're done, check the clock, and realize you've stayed up late without even noticing. Dropping on January 7th with Game Pass Premium is Warhammer 40k Space Marine Master Crafted Edition. This is the classic third-person action shooter, fully upgraded and polished, like power washing a factory floor with a flamethrower and calling it maintenance. You play as a space marine in massive armor, stomping through hordes of enemies with oversized weapons and zero interest in subtle solutions. Combat is direct, heavy, and loud, built around movement, melee, and wiping problems off the map one swing at a time. There's no stealth, no hesitation, and no cleanup checklist. If something's in the way, it gets removed. This is the kind of game where the mop is optional, because the solution is overwhelming force. Dropping on January 8th with Game Pass Ultimate, Game Pass Premium, and PC Game Pass is Final Fantasy I. This is the original JRPG foundation, the game that laid down party rules, turn-based combat, and the blueprint countless RPGs still mop up after today. You're building a party from scratch, exploring a classic fantasy world, managing spells and resources, and learning very quickly that preparation matters more than button mashing. There's no hand-holding here. Every dungeon crawl is deliberate, every spell choice counts, and mistakes stick with you. It's slower, methodical, and surprisingly tense, like cleaning an old building where every room reminds you how much work came before you. This isn't just nostalgia, it's history, and it still holds up if you respect the process. Dropping on January 13th with Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass is Star Wars Outlaws. This is an open-world Star Wars adventure that skips the Jedi stuff entirely, focusing instead on smugglers, crime syndicates, and getting paid without asking too many questions. You're exploring planets, taking risky jobs, pulling off heights, dealing with rival factions, and trying to stay one step ahead of both the law and people who really don't forgive mistakes. Combat mixes blasters, stealth, and gadgets, while your choices shape who trusts you and who puts a bounty on your head. It's all about freedom, risk, and living in the messier side of the galaxy. This is the kind of game where every job feels like a bad idea, and you take it anyway because the credits look good. Dropping on January 15th with Game Pass Ultimate, Game Pass Premium, and PC Game Pass is My Little Pony: A Zephyr Heights Mystery. This is a relaxed, story-driven adventure built around light exploration, simple puzzles, and following a mystery at an easy, approachable pace for kids, like cleaning up a quiet wing of the building where nothing's actively on fire. You're moving through colorful environments, talking to familiar characters, solving small problems, and letting the story guide you forward without rushing you. There's no pressure, no combat stress, and no complicated systems to manage. Just gentle problem solving and steady progress for new gamers. It's calm, friendly, and intentionally low stakes. The kind of game that reminds you not every shift needs alarms. Sometimes you just mop in peace. Dropping on January 20th with Game Pass Ultimate, Game Pass Premium, and PC Game Pass is Resident Evil Village. This is a first-person survival horror cranked to uncomfortable levels. Brutal combat, tense exploration, and a setting that feels like it was designed specifically to make you regret entering the building. You're scavenging for ammo, solving environmental puzzles, managing limited resources, and surviving encounters with werewolves, cults, and things that absolutely should not live in castles. Every hallway feels dangerous, every door opening feels like a mistake, and the game never lets you relax for long. It's intense, cinematic, and constantly pushing you forward whether you're ready or not. This is the kind of game where you turn the lights off for immersion and immediately turn them back on for safety. And finally, dropping on January 20th with Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass is Mio: Memories in Orbit. This is a stylish sci-fi action platformer built around fluid movement, atmospheric exploration, and quiet emotional storytelling, like cleaning the building after hours when everything's finally still. You're navigating a mysterious orbital world, chaining movement abilities together, uncovering fragments of story, and letting the environment do most of the talking. Combat and platforming flow together smoothly, but the real focus is mood. Space, silence, and the feeling of drifting through something forgotten. It's calm without being boring, and reflective without slowing you down. A softer landing to a very loud month. The kind of game that stays with you long after you've put the controller away and clocked out. So there you have it. That's 11 games dropping between January 6th and January 20th for Xbox Game Pass. Didn't I tell you that they were going to be heavy? It's a stacked lineup and a very real premium wall you'll want to double check before downloading. Overall, that's a strong way to kick off 2026. Well, that's all I have. I gotta bounce. The download queue just hit double digits, the Wi-Fi is starting to sweat, and this break room floor is definitely not rated for that kind of traffic. But before I go, do me a favor. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and tell me down in the comments, which Xbox Game Pass game are you downloading first? This is Cruffy the Janitor signing off. Peace out.